Hi, welcome to Jen's Daily Dish. I was recently challenged to what is the best chocolate chip cookie. I made one of the most excellent chocolate chip cookies I have ever tasted. You'll see the recipe right there. So this recipe actually is from the Levain Bakery in New York City. They actually have locations in other places throughout the country, but New York City is where they started. So the challenge was, can I find a recipe that duplicates the taste of these chocolate chip cookies? The answer is yes. I found a recipe. I've adapted it a bit, and all the details are on YouTube, and we're going to try to make it. So what's the difference in this recipe? The big difference is it uses cake flour instead of just all-purpose flour throughout. Cake flour is finer. Remember, I've used it for my Linda's fudge cake. Has a smoother consistency, so it'll be interesting to see the texture of the cookie itself. Another difference, it uses a little bit more light brown sugar, which I agree with. It definitely adds more of a caramelized flavor, but we shall see. Let's find out. I'm also making it because just a city bakery living in a concrete world. Is it the best chocolate chip cookie? Let's find out and bake it, make it now. Do this. Put all the wet ingredients together, cream them, get some air in there, mix the dry ingredients, add those to the wet ingredients, add a ton of chocolate chips, and then the most important part, put it in the refrigerator. If I have learned nothing, I have learned to put your cookie dough in the refrigerator. If you'll remember from my past cookie recipes, this allows the flour to absorb all of that butter and the sugar and gets all coated, and it's going to have a much chewier texture. It's also going to have a deeper caramel flavor. Who doesn't like that? Add 1 cup of unsalted butter, room temperature. This is 16 tablespoons. Go ahead, mix it on low, and just make sure that it is smooth. Add 3/4 of a cup of packed light brown sugar. 1/2 cup granulated sugar. Beat on medium speed until light and fluffy. Add 2 large eggs and beat until just incorporated, about 30 seconds or so. Combine the dry ingredients, a cup of cake flour. See how fine that is. Add 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour if you're adding walnuts, or 1 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour if you're not. 1 teaspoon baking powder. 1 teaspoon baking soda. 1/2 teaspoon coarse salt. Put that over on the side. Mix together. Add the dry ingredients. Mix until just combined. You can do this by hand as well. Add in the chocolate chips. Believe it or not, I have 4 cups of chocolate chips here. This seems a little bit crazy, but if you're using walnuts, add 2 cups of walnuts, 2 cups chocolate chips. This is 4 cups of chocolate chips. Pulse a few times just to combine it. Now the recipe says to actually pour the dough out onto a clean surface so that you can knead it together a couple times, which is something I have never seen in a cookie recipe before. But let's give it a try. We're just going to fold it together. We want to make sure those chocolate chips are really in there. Just be gentle with it. Divide the dough into 8 pieces. They don't need to be exact. Do these should be about 2 to 3 inches high. If we're gonna, it's being a rough shape cookie, literally like that. That is a crazy size cookie. You're only gonna have 4 per baking sheet. These are gonna spread quite a bit, but not as much because we're gonna put them in the refrigerator. The most important part of the recipe, put your cookie dough in the refrigerator for at least 30 minutes, if not 60. You could even put them in there overnight. Before you take your cookie dough out of the refrigerator, preheat your oven to 400 degrees. I just took the cookies out of the refrigerator. They were in there for 60 minutes. Into the hot oven they go, for anywhere from 8 to 9 minutes on convection setting, or 11 minutes if they're on regular oven setting. Note, they're only going to be golden brown on top and the bottom, so just don't overbake. It's been 11 minutes. They are golden. Let's take them out. Let them cool for a little bit on the cookie sheets themselves until they're firm enough that you can move them over to your rack. And then let them sit there for about 15 minutes, and then we get to taste them. Wow. Just wow. These cookies are huge. I don't think I have seen a bigger cookie. So I know that the Levain cookies are this big, so they're true to size. And it's heavy too. They really are 6 ounces. They smell delicious and they look great. So they're nice light golden brown on top, and then the backs of them are nice light golden brown. Note, I let these cookies cool for probably a good 30 to 45 minutes for them to really come together, because they're gonna be ooey gooey. Let's taste it. All right, let's see what they look like inside. Oh my goodness, oh, they are falling apart in my hand. They are definitely ooey, gooey, and chocolatey. Look at that. Let's take a bite. This is a great ooey, gooey chocolate chip cookie that is crispy on the outside and soft and so chocolatey on the inside. Look at all those chocolate chips. They are still in a melty state, even though they've rested for a long period of time. This is a great, impressive cookie. I think that one cookie could be served to multiple people, or you could just eat it all by yourself. If I can make the Levain cookies for the first time with you, you can too. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check me out on Instagram at Jen's Daily Dish and more. I'm going back for more cookies.